Who said that? The next award is the Arts Person of the Year Award, which will be presented to an individual who has contributed to the arts in Burlington as an artist, patron, or advocate, including but not limited to visual arts, media arts, musical arts, performing arts, and literary arts in 2018. I would like our 5 nominees to stand, please. Gary Fisher, and Hayley Verrall. And now, to the video.
I'm scared.
Hello, I'm Jim Young. I've nominated Gary Fisher for the Arts Person of the Year Award. Gary's the director of the Burlington Civic Chorale. He's been an active force in the Burlington choral music scene for 25 years and more. In 1994, he was a founder of the Burlington Civic Chorale, and since then, he's been its director. The chorale is a community choir with amateur singers. He has worked hard to bring them along and get them to a high level of performance. He runs a concert series of 3 concerts each year at St. Christopher's Anglican Church. They played sold-out audiences. Last year, in 2018, the beginning of the 25th anniversary year, we had some special concerts, particularly one in the autumn that was a memorial concert for the 100th anniversary of the World War I armistice. He's constantly looking for opportunities to take music out into the Burlington community.
So I'm nominating Sarah Gagne for the 2018 Arts Person of the Year because I believe Sarah is an extraordinary young film maker from Burlington. And Sarah, in her films, she often will highlight important and poignant local stories and highlight scenes of Burlington and other parts of Ontario that are just seamlessly woven into her films. So she has this innate ability to take an issue, create a vision, and then somehow beautifully bring it to life in a really masterful way. Her most recent, I'd say, and most acclaimed work that she's done is called A Voice for Change, the Laura Hilliard story. It's a short documentary about my daughter Laura and her challenge in the healthcare system. So Laura at 18 was relapsed from acute myeloid leukemia and discovered a healthcare crisis that prevented her from getting the stem cell transplant she needed. And Sarah immediately wanted to help. Laura was trying to bring the problem to light. So Sarah created this documentary, and somehow it is an absolute masterpiece where she has managed to bravely interview doctors and senior healthcare administrators. Even though she's relatively young, she also took this and made a connection with the audience so they could really connect with Laura. In just 6 minutes, somehow managed to do that beautifully. Sarah will continue to make Burlington proud. She is an extraordinary talent that I believe has creative genius in her. And she has won recently the 2018 TVO Short Dog Contest as well.
My name is Mary Jean Donkin, and I'm here because I nominated Hayley Verrall for Arts Person of the Year here in Burlington. Hayley is an amazing young woman who finished her degree in music at college this last year. While doing so, she started a program called Singing for Smiles, where she started going into seniors' homes and singing for them. It was amazing to watch the seniors come to life when she started to sing, and they would sing along with her, which was amazing. She then took the program to the high school and sang for the special ed classes, and they loved it too. She went to Joe Brandt this Christmas and sang for the residents that were going to be getting out at Christmas, and that went over really well. For these and many other reasons, Hayley should be considered for this award.
Hi, I'm Robert Stephen from the Art Gallery of Burlington, and we're nominating Jerry Pooley as Arts Person of the Year. Jerry turned 97 this year, and ever since she arrived in Burlington 62 years ago, she's been an inspiration to the entire artistic community. She's an advocate, an educator, and an organizer in the artistic community, and also passionate about the heritage of Burlington, where she has written histories of the artistic community, as well as documented our historic buildings in her fine and detailed watercolor paintings. Jerry's also an inspiration to everyone she meets through her incredibly positive attitude that is comparable to no other that we've ever met. So for these reasons, we are proud to nominate Jerry Pooley as Arts Person of the Year.
My name is Don Graves. I nominated Cheryl Goldring for the Art Person of the Year. Why I nominated her is basically because of her ability to encourage and participate and produce in activities that bring artists in this community together with organizations that need the money that art fundraising can produce. She's a bridge builder and a partnership type person. She knows the artist community. She knows the various organizations such as the Halton Learning, such as the Harpenter Hospice, that need the work and need the money to fulfill their tasks. And the impact, of course, is it creates an opportunity for the artists to reach into the community, to share their skills with them, and at the same time for the organization to raise funds that they are badly needed to create and maintain their presence in the community.
From our city. Before I bring out our presenter for this one, the arts has been the number one, easily the number one part of my life. I have been in almost every theater group through Burlington, and many of which have changed names a couple times. And when we first moved to Burlington in 1977, the first people that my parents introduced us to were Sue and Skip Ermish. And I think we all know Sue Ermish. And there are two kids that were around the exact same age as me and my brother and sister. That would be Ellen and Ian, who are the directors of the Tartan Terrors. I have essentially, since the age of 6, grown up on and off with Ian and Ellen, and we would be in and out of theater programs together. And the arts is what I will always say, because I was never really good at sports and never really good at sticking my hand out, shaking hands, and meeting people. It was theater that pulled me into being the person that I am today. And my mom, who had a dance studio, and Sue, who had a dance studio, and they were best friends from childhood. My mom didn't do performing arts, she only did dance. So all my performing arts training came either at or at the behest of Sue, who just kept pushing. And I remember when Sue passed away, the one thing that I said was, Sue was a lifesaver for me. She was that ring that got tossed out that I reached for, and she helped me figure out what I was going to do. So the Ermish family means an awful lot to me, which is why this means a lot to me to let you know that this award is sponsored by the KW Ermish family. And I'd like to call upon Ms. Ellen Wilkes Ermish right now, co-director of the Tartan Terrors and hero of mine, to make the presentation on behalf of her family.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that great introduction. I have to tell you, one of my biggest memories of Chris is listening to Phil Collins with him. A lot. So it's very, very special to be here this evening. Good evening to Mayor Meade Ward, members of the City Council and the Recognition Committee, nominees, fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here once again to present the K.W. Ermish Arts Person of the Year Award. My parents loved our city, and they always worked diligently to find ways to improve the arts and culture in our community. In fact, my mom was on the committee to get this theater built, so it's very special to be here tonight. One of the best life lessons that I learned from my parents was the importance of overcoming obstacles and challenges when going for goals. This has truly been a valuable lesson, both personally and professionally. Here's an example of it. Back in the 1930s, there was a man named Noah McVickers out of Cincinnati. He was asked by the famous grocery store chain Kroger to create a cleaning substance that would help remove all the city coal residue on people's homes, because at that time, most people heated their homes with coal. However, after the Second World War, people no longer wanted to use coal. They switched to electricity and natural gas. His company was on the verge of bankruptcy. His nephew, determined to turn the family business around, started playing with ideas. As he played with ideas, he found out that his sister-in-law, Kay Zufall, took this putty and goo and gave it to her preschool students. They loved it. They squished it and they made it into cool art. Most importantly, they had fun. So after some brainstorming, they added food coloring to this goo, and today we know it as Play-Doh. In fact, it's still a favorite toy of many children and maybe a few adults. You may ask, how does this story relate? In my humble opinion, it's because anyone who was nominated tonight for any of the awards has had to come over these challenges, over these hiccups, to get to their vision to better our city. And that takes courage. Our winner tonight is an amazing artist whose work has been seen internationally, yet still finds ways to better our community. Ladies and gentlemen, the K.W. Ermish Arts Person of the Year Award goes to Hayley Verrall. Hayley is a talented singer-songwriter, and along with performing, as you saw, she started the Singing for Smiles program, which began by supporting her ill grandmother. She now performs in seniors' residence and healthcare facilities all throughout the area, proving the medicinal healing powers of music. And I can honestly say that firsthand because last year during treatments at Princess Margaret Hospital, I had a gentleman sing to me, and it was absolutely wonderful. So for all those people, thank you. Now, looking at her amazing credits, I was excited. She's performed at the supermarket in Toronto. I thought that was great, because the Tartan-Terres have performed at a supermarket. Except I realized her supermarket was this kind of cool, unique bar in Toronto, and our supermarket was a cool and unique Piggly Wiggly in Wisconsin. I'll tell you, nothing says entertaining like dancing between the frozen lobster and the cereal aisle while Santa's cheering you on. And Hayley, I hope you get that experience one day because it's one you'll never forget. Hayley, we are all so proud of you and all your accomplishments. We can't wait to see what the future beholds for you. Congratulations.
I want to thank Burlington's Best, all the nominees, and all my supporters that came tonight, especially Mary Jean. That video wasn't bad as you said it was going to be. I was a little scared. But I'm going to continue to sing for Smiles. And I'm going to continue to sing throughout Burlington and inspiring people through my music. And I want to thank you guys for this award tonight.